My name is Marjorie Roden, and I'm the host of Winnipeg Landing Pad. This week we're going to be looking at action with the University of Manitoba Bisons, both on the ice with the men's hockey and with the women's volleyball as well. We'll also be looking at some of the action with the Jets in terms of some commentary being made, as well as some points of view from the fans in the chirping pad. But first of all, as we always love doing in this show, we're going to be looking at some local talent. Enjoy Rockers Love the Jets.
Wendy, put that thing away.
The game's going into overtime.
This is the provincial finals for music scholarship.
Shh, overtime started.
We've been working at this for months. This song.
Our song kicks ass.
Your head is not in the game.
Wow, Shif almost scored there. This Halleck guy is almost as good as Bucky.
Your head's not in the right game.
Agreed. Give me your phone. You guys, it's your turn to be on stage now.
She didn't see my smartwatch.
I can't seem to control myself. No, I know what I'm supposed to do, but I'm not aware. My thoughts, my mind, in my head, oh, now they all work against each other instead. But I know that I can't do it well. Oh, I've got no more motivation. Can't you tell? Can't you tell? Oh, can't you tell? Yeah. Well, I'm stuck on temptation, just procrastination. Why can't my day begin? I think I'll just stand and stare at the ceiling. Forget my feelings. If I don't start healing, then I won't believe it. Yeah, yeah. Oh. Just a little more, just a few more hours. Oh, would someone get me out of here? I wish I had the power, but I am lazy and I'm crazy and I just want fun. Oh, tomorrow I swear I'll go and get it done. But I know that I can't do it well. I've got no more motivation. Can't you tell? Can't you tell? Oh, can't you tell? Oh, yeah. Well, I'm stuck on temptation, just procrastination. Why can't my day begin? I think I'll just stand and stare at the ceiling. Forget my feelings. If I don't start healing, then I won't believe it. Yeah, yeah. Oh, oh, situation is getting out of hand. My inspiration is kind of a sham, and I know I can do it well. Won't someone please show me?
Quit checking on the freaking game.
It's about to go in shootout.
Who cares?
Anyone in Winnipeg who doesn't have their head firm up their ass.
Till I stuck on temptation, procrastination. Why can't my day begin? I think I'll just stand and stare
Great performance, you guys. And the commentary on the Jets game? Wait, did that actually happen?
Yeah, they won over the Bruins in the shootout, 4-3.
Whose plan and choreography was this? What a genius performance.
It was all me. I'm the one who put all this together. I asked them to do something like this, and it worked out pretty well, didn't it?
And now, here's a segment of our chirping pad.
Yeah, there's been a few. I've noticed the one game there, we got a pretty bad shot on Shifley, and there was no call made until afterwards. So that was a real dinger that I wish they had called sooner.
There has been instances where I've watched games, and then like I've seen several times where they should have been called, but it hasn't really been called. So I kind of get really angry about that during the game.
There was one in the Dallas Stars game that was a little dirty. I think it was Brandon Bridge, whatever his name was. Sort of looked like the refs were giving the Dallas Stars a little bit of a hand, but ultimately it didn't matter since we wound up winning anyway.
I thought it should have been a call. I thought that should have been at least a minor penalty, maybe even 4 minutes. And maybe at the worst case scenario, maybe a fine or 1 game suspension or maybe a fine.
You're referring to one where he was bleeding, right?
Yes. I thought the refereeing has been a little bit against our team.
Do you have anything to add there?
I think he shares my sentiment about it. I think the Jets are a force to be reckoned with, and I think other teams, and I don't want to slide against the officials because they have a job to do, but there are certain times in certain games where it just seems like, how can we bury ourselves out of this penalty heap? We get bombarded with so many penalties left, right, and center, and if that's how they need to respond to our talent, then they're going to have to answer to that if it's continues. I think but the Jets they're a really good force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, I can't remember. There was a hit there on, Ehlers, right? That was, very uncalled for. I found that out. Even my son said it, because we're really Jet fans, so way back. Yeah, so that was uncalled for. And then I watched them the other day, they played again. There was another thing there too, too much rough. Hey, too much rough. What do you call it?
High sticking.
Yeah, but it's called some kind of play,
like roughing, you mean?
Yeah, roughing, for nothing, for no reason, because we don't want them to hurt the other person, They just want to, but, it's accidents though, eh? Oh yeah, like Shifley, that's it. I met Shifley, I did really. And then he got hit, in the mouth, and he was bleeding. See, that was uncalled for. They don't have to do stuff like that,
And if memory serves me correct, there was no call on that.
Yeah, there was no call, and he was wondering, hey, how come there wasn't, But there wasn't, So Maurice was mad, the captain, and Shifley was mad. He was sitting there, and he was rubbing his mouth with the towel, yeah.
A lot of, internal screaming. As someone who's played hockey, it's very frustrating to watch. Let's be real. I know it's rough on refs though, like they're doing their best. They're trying their best. So I don't like it when people get too when they attack the specific ref for it. It's trying their hardest,
One that a lot of people have been talking about is the two-handed stick on Mark Shifley.
Right. Yeah, there was a suspension associated with that. Right.
What did you think of that suspension?
Yeah, I think that was merited. I think that it certainly looked like it could have been prevented when you look at the replay. That being said, things happen pretty quick. It's easy for us to comment when we're sitting on our couch eating chips, but I think it probably could have been prevented, and I agree with the suspension.
Well, there's a certain hit on Mark Shifley with a stick.
Yeah, for sure, that one. Something else.
think that the punishment that the guy got was fitting?
Not really. I think it wasn't exactly what should have been called or punished.
That was unfair. It was bad. It was not the Jets player's other one. I think it was unintentional. He turned around and swung at her.
The weekend of February 8th and 9th saw the University of Saskatchewan Huskies come and play against the University of Manitoba Bisons. It was the last regular season of the game. For the Bisons, it was their last game for the season because they didn't quite make playoffs. The Huskies have made playoffs in a rather grand way. But in the meantime, there's still the rivalry to take care of. As always happens whenever the University of Manitoba Bisons face off against the University of Saskatchewan Huskies, the rivalry shows. At this point in the game, it was tied 2-2, and it was in the third period. The Bisons tried what they could to get one past Taryn Kozan, who was between the pipes for the Huskies, but it wound up being Sam Rualp from the Huskies, who wound up getting a very slick odd-angle shot in, which wound up being the game winner for the visitors. The final score was 3-2 for the Huskies.
I thought the boys really battled hard. Definitely against a good U of S team coming in here. We did a great job, stayed tight defensively, and pushed the pace. This is my last year. This was my last 2 games as a Bison. So nice to finish off some good efforts.
How have your years been here in Winnipeg?
Great. I've loved it. We had a great program here, a great group of guys in the dressing room. It's definitely been very enjoyable. Effort by the guys tonight, all 3 zones. We really, played well, came together as a team, and excited to get back at it tomorrow.
Their second meeting was a little bit more lopsided, although they were still going at it pretty hard physically. The Huskies came out on top with a 3-0 win.
It was a tough year. It was a challenging year, but we can say that our guys never quit. Every morning they came to the rink prepared to work and try to get better, and continued to support their teammates all year. Some teams in this situation, things could implode. That didn't happen with us. As I said, our guys continue to be positive, support each other through a challenging year. So, as coaching staff, we respect that.
Obviously this year wasn't what we expected, but coming in next year, we want to make the playoffs, number one. But personally, I think I can step up and take a bigger role as a young guy this year. You don't play as much as the older guys, but I'm hoping next year to come in and kind of play a bigger role and contribute a little bit more.
I think we're losing a lot of graduating players. They were definitely a big part of this program, the culture that we tried to create here. And new guys coming in, I trust Mike. He's going to recruit good players, character people, and I think they'll step right in and help us.
I think just earn your ice, and we're going to hold guys accountable next year. So everyone's going to have to work hard for their spot and come ready to play, work hard in the summer, and be ready to go when the season starts.
It's good. I get a lot of family and friends out, so it's always nice playing in front of people So it's good. Pretty good. 25-3 pretty much says for itself. So get ourselves a nice little bye before playoffs. So we set ourselves up pretty good so we can have home ice the rest of the way. So looking to go out strong in my last year here. So.
Well, it's going to be a reloading year. As I said, we're losing a lot of very, very good, not only players, but people through graduation. But in terms of recruiting, we've had some very positive conversations with some good players who are very interested to come and join the Bisons. But we've got a lot of work to do for recruiting because of the turnover that we have. But we've got a good young nucleus to build on.
Take everything with a grain of salt. Sometimes you're not going to play a whole lot when you're first year coming in, and you got to earn every shift that you get. You got to earn every shift that you get out there and make the most of it. So, yeah.
Right now, it's kind of hard to say. Obviously, this year didn't go how we wanted it to go. Not being in the playoffs is really disappointing. And as for next year, I expect us to be a playoff team and push for a playoff spot.
It was a tough year. We had our ups and downs all year, and for our first year guys, we we worked hard and we just continued to battle throughout the year, and I think we're resilient. We have a resilient group and continue to work hard. So next year we're just going to take that into the summer and into next year, and hopefully have a better season.
Who is going to be the chirper you're going to miss the most?
Probably Brett Brooks. Yeah, he's never scared to throw some stuff out there. So
I don't know if you heard this or not. There's going to be a WHL team in this rink as of next fall for 2 years. What do you think of that idea?
I think they'll have really good home ice advantage. I mean, there's a lot of travel, and yeah, who knows? I think it'll be interesting, Winnipeg having a team, but I think it'll be good for the city.
Okay, let me put this to you another way. There's going to be 3 teams sharing this rink.
Yeah, I know. I thought about that too. I mean, the weekends are going to be jam-packed, so I mean, the logistics will have to be pretty good here, but I'm sure they'll figure it out.
And now we have another segment of the Chirping Pad. Enjoy.
Refereeing association, I guess, because they're the ones in charge of rules and regulations, how they make their calls, how they train their staff, and I think they make mistakes too, so they need to be accountable to what they're following.
There'll be a review of refereeing every maybe 20 games or something. So that's what my feelings.
And be fined when they're not right.
Probably the refs in the NHL. I don't think the players should be blamed for it. It's not really their responsibility. Their responsibility is just to go and play their best kind of thing.
Refs, for one, need to have some sort of something to encourage them to make good calls and to not call crappy calls. You know, like if they don't have anything that happens if they make crappy calls or don't make calls, nothing's going to change with it.
I think the commissioner, Gary Bettman, definitely has a role to play because he's directly responsible for taking corrective action. And sometimes it is on the individual refs. You know, some refs are better than others.
Responsible for these things, it's not the players or the coach. So I think that, what's his name, Bateman? Commissioner of NHL. I think I'm glad that he's finding people now. So I think he should look into it. So then they get injured, we're out for look at the Oilers. It'll be out to February, something broken shoulder. See, that's not good. And I sure he wants to play hockey, right? But he can't now. And then Bufflin's out too. Sure. Oh, really? Leg injury? Yeah, you hurt his leg? I watched it. Is that when it was he couldn't get up? And he was like a jelly there, and they were trying to grab him? Yeah, I did see that, yeah. That was a bad one too, whoever hit him. They should be responsible, and I think we should charge the player that injures them.
Yeah, I feel like everyone in the league can do something,
I feel like these refs are going to take all this feedback that they're getting, and they are going to keep an eye out for this kind of thing more often. But really, again, they're just doing their best. No matter what, the Jets will get through it, right?
The University of Manitoba women's volleyball team also had action that weekend against the University of Regina Cougars. The previous night, the women had lost in 3 straight sets, and in this battle, although they did try their hardest against the University of Regina Cougars, they still came away a bit short as the Cougars came and won 3-1. However, the following weekend, they still had some action to take on in terms of guaranteeing a playoff spot, which they did get against Trinity Western. They managed to win one of the games there, and they'll be up against Calgary this coming weekend in Canada West playoff action. Certainly, with the way the team has done, they do have a very strong team, and they still have a shot at getting a championship. And of course, during the game itself, there were in-between set games that took place, and here we see one of the Bison's alumnus, Alex Strachan, winning a few chicken wings for himself, and he was quite happy for himself. He actually did quite well. Very well. Getting back to the women, they also are going to be in playoffs, and we certainly have faith in how they're doing because they do have a strong team. And playoffs are a whole new season.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we had better fight tonight than last night, obviously. But, I mean, Regina had a very, very good weekend. I wouldn't take anything away from them. They played very solid and forced us to, to do things we weren't comfortable doing. They served very tough, and that put us in trouble all weekend long. So, credit to them for doing a really good job.
Okay. Obviously, it's our home gym. We never want to lose at home, especially with senior night as well. It's a tough pill to swallow. We didn't really expect this result. Obviously, the team, we were all band together, so we really wanted to get the win. Yeah, that's about all I can say.
I mean, we prepped for these guys great. We went into the weekend really prepared for them. I think our serve receive pretty much summed up our weekend, I think, which is unfortunate. But other than that, I feel like everybody was in the right mindset. We kind of got a glimpse of our potential and how we can play and do play at our level during the third set and part of the fourth, but we have to find a way to start the game off a little stronger.
Yeah, I got lots of words. I could sit here for an hour and tell you, how fantastic both of them are. I mean, they're just both amazing kids who I'm privileged to have coached, and just really thankful they were here for 5 years, and 5 years went by really fast, so yeah, it's tough. We'll miss them, and I'll miss seeing them every day and being with them, and they've just been, outstanding kids for our program.
It hurts. I was reflecting all day pretty much like where I started and where I finished. I mean, our season isn't done yet, so we kind of have a quick turnover, but it's hard. It's a good, I guess it's not the best way to finish, but it's nice looking up in the stands and having that many people there to support me. And I mean, we had a great team this year, and they were all right behind me.
5 years is a long time. You never really expect it to end. You're just kind of in it for the long haul, and it definitely hasn't really hit me yet. Like seeing all my family come down on the floor, that was a bit of a big moment for me. It's a tough atmosphere to be in because all of your emotions are all over the place, right? So you have to play with confidence and be focused, but you're knowing that this is your last weekend ever at home. So
yeah, I mean, after this game, everybody else was kind of up, like crying and everything, so that kind of gets me emotional. But it won't really hit me until our last game is actually done, and I realize that that's it with my team and playing here, because I'm still going to be practicing in the gym, so it's still going to feel like home until there's no longer any practices left.
What advice would you give to any rookies coming in next year, knowing what you know now?
We stand by playing Bison volleyball. We've always been a defensive team, and I'll stay true to that, especially because that's basically my entire position. But yeah, we're a defensive team. That's always what we have been and what we hope to present in future Bisons for sure. And everybody's just a team. We're a family, and that's just how it should be.
Could you see yourself coming back to the program in another capacity?
I would love to come back and help out if Ken ever needed, just on teaching the young players, because both Sid Mikulishin and Jordan Ham are, I guess, technically first years. They're for sure definitely nervous. I've talked to both of them about next year. And then we have Julia Arnold, I believe, coming in as well as for libero. And if he were to have me back, I'd for sure come and help them out. But I definitely don't want to kind of leave this just in the past if I can.
To say that the Jets are in a bit of a slump right now would be a bit of an understatement. You guys can do a lot better than you've been doing. And I don't know if this one broadcast will make any difference at all or not. In fact, you guys are probably avoiding the media altogether. But I'm still going to put it out there. You guys have the talent there. You just have to be like a camera a little bit more so and focus a bit. Now, that's not to say that everyone out there isn't doing their best. I mean, you all are as much as you can. And I don't know what's going on in the locker room. And I'm not going to guess anything there because it would only be guessing. You guys know what's going on in there. As far as the lines go, the ones that have really been standing out for me have actually been the back end, like the two that are considered like the third and fourth lines. I don't like giving lines names like that in terms of a hierarchy, just as a habit. I do not do that. So we'll call them the Crash Boom Bang line, which would be Tanev, Lowry, and Perreault, because they do that a lot. They crash, they boom, they bang the puck in, and occasionally, get into the fisticuffs. Nice fight last night, by the way, Adam. And with the fourth line, I don't like calling them the fourth line, because that sounds... I call them the goal fourth line, because that's what they do each and every night. And I did notice that there was a little bit of bingo balling the lines a little bit last night, and that they were being a bit mixed up. And I did like that combination of seeing Tanev, Kopp, and Lemieux together. That line looked, I thought, pretty decent. And they complemented each other as well. And that's a lovely thing about the Jets, is the fact you guys have so many pieces there to be able to put together a terrific game. You can do that. And also on the back end, you guys have Morrissey there, you have Trouba, and all those other guys. And you have some pretty good prospects there too. I'd love to see Poolman out there playing, because he just came off of a lovely point-scoring streak with the Moose. And it seems a little bit sad just to have him up in the press box watching the game. Put him out there, please, because he could do with the time there, and it'd be nice to see what he could do in the big leagues. And our goaltending duo, you guys have nothing to be angry with yourselves about, okay? Bucky and Brossoit, you doing great in there, game in, game out. You haven't been giving anything up. Like, okay, yes, occasionally, sometimes you wander out of the net. I've done that too, but it's called being human. We're not robots. None of you are robots in that team. We know this. Just be the best humans you can be. All of us are proud of you here in Winnipeg. Keep it up. In our next episode, we're going to be focusing on the University of Manitoba Bison's women's hockey team this time. They're going into playoffs. They had a bye round this past weekend, and they're the reigning national champions right now, so they're nothing to sneeze at. They're going to be going up against the UBC Thunderbirds, and we'll be there with our cameras to see how they do and talking to the players afterwards. Until then, have a great week, and we'll see you around. Bye for now.